Street Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Yes, kids, it is finally that time of year. Time to make the NFL predictions. Welcome to the 2021 NFL Prediction Show. My God, man, we're into week 2 of preseason, and I feel like I got it. I feel like I got my mind wrapped around the entire season now, and I feel good and positive about my bets going forward, D'Anthony.
Word.
However, I have a feeling today it's going to be a little boring. My picks are going to be a little boring this year.
I'm not anticipating a whole lot of surprises this season, but you never know. I mean, the NFL with injuries and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now that there's no, we're going to see, remember that shit with the quarterbacks last year?
Yes.
Like the first 4 weeks, 12 starting quarterbacks were out or some shit like that.
Because of COVID, but we've had a full camp now.
Yeah, now we've had a full camp, but they're not going to play preseason games.
Right.
So when's that going to happen this year? Right. I mean, when are you going to see the injuries and stuff start happening?
Yeah, you know, it's. I'll say this: it's tough because I think in the last maybe 3 to 4 years, there has been a trend of the big stars not really playing preseason, anyways. So I think that's going to continue. The oddest thing, though, what you're going to find is more injuries for the extra game. I feel like. Because you're going to have a 17-game schedule,
right,
instead of 16. And that's going to leave the ability to get hurt wide open more and more versus, fuck, man, 16 is, you're lucky still to make it through a 16-game season unscathed.
Yeah.
With 17, man,
you're
Baker Mayfield's done week 3.
Yeah.
He's going to break his little collarbone, and that's going to be it. For a guy like him. Now, some of the bigger dudes or whatever, or who can get it out of their hands quicker, like you never see really Aaron Rodgers get hurt that much, or Tom Brady. Tom Brady once in his career.
They also don't really, I mean,
they don't run.
Aaron Rodgers runs more than Tom Brady probably, but he doesn't, he's pretty safe the way he runs.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He doesn't get above like 3-4 miles per hour.
If that. And now that he's dating Shailene Woodley,
and it's
probably slower now.
Yeah, he slides pretty much immediately when anybody's near him. You don't see him take a lot of big hits in general.
No, you don't. Shit, he didn't want to run it in the NFC Championship for whatever reason. He had that lane. He could have made that and won the game.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't, but whatever, man. Here we are. It's a new season. It's a new year, new you. I'll start with me first, okay? Diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. Do I think this is going to be a new year for us and it's going to be special and this is our year and we're going to make our run? No, I'm all done with that. Like I said, a year and a half ago now, Dan, I've denounced all Atlanta sports teams. I am all done with saying this is our year. I'm not a fucking Cowboys fan. No Falcons fans or Cowboys fans in here. So no, this is not our year. We've got Matt Ryan, who's 36, 37 years old. Julio Jones is gone. He's at Tennessee. Tennessee is a great sleeper pick this year for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, as far as gambling wise on mybookie.com, promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposit no matter what it is for new people on there. All these odds today that we're going to read off are from mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros on there. I like them as a sleeper, but the Falcons not so much. I love Kyle Pitts. I think he's going to be a superstar and have a big year fantasy-wise. Calvin Ridley, I'm unsure of. He's great, but it's now he's the number one wide receiver. Right?
Is he though? Let me ask you this question.
Sure.
And I think I'm honestly of the opinion that the Falcons took Kyle Pitts because they want to have a more. It's got to be either a Tom Brady style where it's you've got 2 tight ends because Hayden Hurst is not bad either.
Sure.
You've got 2 tight ends, or it is and I think this is probably closer to the truth because of his talent and the way he plays. Are they trying to go more of a Kansas City model where your tight end is your number 1 receiver in some cases, right? So that was the question I was going to ask kind of rhetorically. Tell me who the number 1, like if you had to list wide receiver number 1 on Kansas City based on the way they use them, not on their position, who would you pick? Because I don't know who I would pick.
And it's great. So a fantasy football messiah like myself, right? If I'm drafting this year, and I hate to give away these fucking tips beforehand, but I will. Kelsey goes in the first round for me because not only are you getting the best tight end in football, but he's also one of Mahomes' favorite dudes, and I take him over a Tyreek Hill any day, and he goes into the first round to me. If you're in a 12-league team, anywhere from 9 to 12, you're fine with taking Travis Kelce because he's going to put up monster numbers. And so, yes, I think you can move that way. Well, listen, however, having a tight end who is that great is extremely rare. You had the Gronkowski years, you had Tony Gonzalez.
Right. It's rare, but it's
very successful if you can get that guy.
Kyle Pitts appears to be that guy. That's why they fucking drafted him, right? So I'm looking at the statistics for last season for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I would, other than he and Kittle in the league right now, I would challenge anybody to find a recent season where this was the case on one of the most powerful offenses that exists. Receptions. The reception leader on Kansas City, Travis Kelce, had 105 receptions, targeted 145 times. Tyreek Hill, number 2, 87 receptions. He had 18 less, right? And 135 targets, 10 less targets, 200 less yards. I mean,
and the crazy thing is, Mahomes was hurt.
Yeah, Mahomes was hurt. Travis Kelce is the number 1 wide receiver on that team. He happens to be a big dude that blocks sometimes, but he is the number 1 wide receiver of that team. That is exactly what you're going to see out of Atlanta this year. And to be honest, that is a way that you can win. So I don't know if Calvin Ridley's going to deal with being wide receiver number 1.
Maybe not, but as far as the Falcons go, we don't have enough people. I don't even know who our running back is, to be honest with you.
It's Mike Davis from South Carolina.
Great. Are you fucking kidding?
No.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
He had 700 yards last year.
Yeah, but it's Mike Davis from Carolina Panthers. Like it's boring. Defense hasn't gotten any better. It is a team that is struggling to find an identity.
That's the real problem.
We got a new coach. We got a new GM. And the reason why I'm leading with this is so you at home will never have to hear about the Falcons from me the rest of this show and probably the rest of the season unless I'm betting against them because that's it. So I'm all done with the Falcons. You don't have to worry about that. However,
man, they opened the season up tough too. I mean, Philly sucks, right? We don't know we don't know what Philly's going to be.
No, correct. You were right. Philly sucks.
Well, I mean, Philly's awful.
Jalen Hurts has his favorite person to throw to on earth coming into the program now. Yeah. So who knows if
anybody's
that
favorite on earth? Yeah. Devonta Smith is.
Yeah, he's really good. But who knows how that's going to work out? I assume they're going to have some success, right? There's a reason. There's a reason that Trevor Lawrence probably lobbied to get his buddy drafted, right? You would think they had some conversation at some point, like, hey, this motherfucker is pretty good. Yeah. He's French, but whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Bring him over here. Let's get some work done. But so that's Philly. That's week 1. But then it's Tampa Bay. At Tampa Bay, which kind of sucks. At the Giants, again, I don't think the Giants are going to suck as bad as people think they are this year.
Nah.
We'll see. But then it's at Washington. And then at New York. Yeah. The Jets. Or no, that one's at home. So they're playing the Jets. I think the Jets are going to there's a good chance if this weird little Merman kid works out for the Jets, that Atlanta just pops out 0-5 immediately.
Could be,
dude.
It wouldn't surprise me.
They could legit lose any. I wouldn't bet for them to win right now. I wouldn't bet for them to win any one of those games. Then they play at Miami, which maybe they fucking figure it out.
Maybe.
Who knows?
They were in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I mean, if Baker Mayfield can lead a team to the playoffs, Tua probably can too, to be honest. If he gets enough luck, maybe. If things go well, if they build a good enough defense.
Either way,
Atlanta may not win a game this whole season.
Dan, we don't have to spend any more time on the Atlanta Falcons because they're not worth it. They're not even remotely close to even throwing money as like a long shot of like, oh, hey, you know what would be fun is if we threw some money on that.
What are the odds?
Over under 7.5 wins for Atlanta.
No, what about the Super Bowl? It's got to be like 40,000 or something, right?
Yeah. I'd say, do you have all the over-under odds up in front of you?
I can pull them up right now.
Great. So what we'll do is this. We'll go team by team like we do every single year here on the show, and then we'll go over-under wins for that team. We will start with the AFC because it's fun and it's sexy and it's better than the NFC.
Falcons are plus 6,000.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. You might as well find fucking who's that guy buried underneath the stadium? Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. We'll start with the AFC East here in the New England Patriots. I called this right last year. You did not, however. But Mac Jones is there now. What do you think of the Patriots doing anything in that division? Keep in mind the Buffalo Bills are there, the New York Jets, and the Miami Dolphins are there.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills obviously are going to win that division, but as far as what the Patriots do, I don't know, man. I don't know if Cam Newton is still a pretty incredible athlete. Who knows what the fuck he's going to come back and do? I don't even know what their game plan is. It seems like they're going to try to go back to a 2 tight end set and do all that bullshit.
Yep.
But whatever you do, subtract Tom Brady from that, that's not a plan.
Right.
Like, you've got to start all the fucking way back over.
Right.
That's why I think Belichick might be done.
Or look,
I'm willing to be surprised by him. I hope he does surprise us with some good football coming out of there. But I think maybe that just happened to work together, and then this shit's done.
I think Mac Jones is probably in there week 3, and then off to the races, and you can find out what happens. What's the over/under for the Patriots this year?
9.5 with
God.
The over being -135 and the under being +105.
What? Why? I feel like you just walked in when I was just got out of the shower. I was like, oh my, why?
Well, here's a good. I mean, there's the start of their season is Miami, the Jets, and then the Saints. Who know? Again, the Saints. We don't know. It might. The Saints might turn into, if Jameis Winston is the Jameis Winston we know, or if they go with the guy who's not even a quarterback, right? Cordell Stewart, white version.
Yeah, the white version of Cordell Stewart.
That's a coin flip game every time. And Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers 2 years ago, that was just a coin flip. If Jameis threw picks or not.
Yeah.
If he didn't throw picks, they win. If he threw picks, they lose. That's how it went. That could turn into that game again. They could easily win those first 3 games.
Yeah, and look, Patriots have a decent defense. Their offense, look, it can be decent, but you need a quarterback to do it. It might be Mac Jones. 9.5 is way too high. That means they're 10-7 at the end of this year, and I definitely don't have that.
I think there's a pretty decent chance Mac Jones is going to be a pretty good NFL quarterback.
So do I.
He's got
and because he's in that system and he's a smart kid.
He's got it up here.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, like he's a smart
kid, and I think he'll do all right. I just don't think 10 wins, 10-7 puts you in. Boy,
you might be in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're definitely in the playoffs. But man, I don't see that happening from the Patriots.
And I still, based on the tape I've seen so far, it looks like Cam might still be having brain fog shit from COVID. Like, he was clearly affected by that shit last year.
Oh yeah,
whatever long COVID or whatever the fuck. It just seemed like.
He's a weird guy.
He is a weird guy, but like reading progressions and stuff was noticeably slower. His decision to take off and run or to stay in the pocket was noticeably slower.
Yeah.
And look, that's how it goes. It's what happened to Albert Pujols. Like, you can wait for the ball to get all the way back in the zone if your hand speed is that quick. But once it's not anymore, you got to adjust. And if you don't, then your fucking career's over. Now, he's happened to adjust pretty well, considering the fact that he lied about his age and he's probably 65 years old right now. But I don't know if Newton comes back from that part. Like, he's still a great athlete, but there's something going on with the decision-making process that's affected. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah,
it's a strange one for Newton. I don't look. I've got no faith in this guy whatsoever. And again, I think he's out of there.
They've got Brian Hoyer on the
week,
so don't worry.
It's even worse. I've got Newton out of there week 2, week 3, and then it's the Mac Jones show for the rest of the year. What I love about the 2 tight end set that you were talking about earlier is, for a young quarterback, those are short 10, 15-yard passes. You're not putting a ton of pressure on him.
Yep.
And the running backs are always running back by committee. Those little dump-off balls to James White will probably be there. And
I mean, it's not just James. So now they've got Damian Harris, Sony Michel, and James White on the team.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be in the slot. They're going to have a slot and 2 fucking and a I-back, or not I-back, what the fuck? What was it called? Split back formation, right? Sometimes with 2 tight ends, like, you don't have to throw the ball more than fucking 15 yards.
No, and if Damian Harris busts through and is the dude this year, you can just hand off the ball. We'll see, but 10 wins is too much for me, and I'm not doing that.
I don't know though. Their schedule is not exactly crazy. I mean, they play those first 3 games. I mean, they play Tampa Bay, but then they play Houston and Dallas and the Jets again. Then they play they got Carolina and Atlanta on that schedule. They've got, towards the end of their last 2 games, are Jacksonville and Miami. There's a pretty decent chance they can hit that fucking 10, I think.
Maybe.
But who knows? I don't want to tell people to put money on shit that we don't even know what the team is going to look like at that point.
I can tell you where my American dollars are not going on that at all.
No.
I would say this. I think it's an 8-9 team that will be on the rise for next year. And I think if Mac Jones turns out to who we think he's going to be, I think Belichick sticks around. Because
Maybe.
I think with those tight ends, that new running back, and he's always had a decent defense, I think they're fine for the long term. And I think that Brady Super Bowl will motivate him enough to be like, fuck you, I want to win one too on my own.
I mean, people were saying the same shit I'm saying now about Phil Jackson after he left the Bulls, but fucking he did just fine with Shaq and Kobe.
He did fine.
Even just with just Kobe.
Yeah.
He still won 2 more.
He's fine.
And they could have won a third, so who knows?
Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills, who I love. Look, this was the guy, by the way, Browns fans, go back and check the tape. When Dan and I first started doing this show and we did that draft night special, I said the Browns should have taken Josh Allen. I thought he was a superstar. It was a weird bowl game that I ended up watching him in. And I was like, Jesus Christ, who is this guy who's launching the ball like 70 yards downfield every play?
It was the Potato Bowl.
God, oh yeah, it's it. It was, you're right, it was the fucking Potato Bowl. It was unbelievable. And I was like, who the fuck is this kid? And he could run, and he's got a cannon for an arm. I love Josh Allen. I always have. Stephon Diggs and him crushed last year. What's that over-under? Probably 12 or 13?
It's 11.
11. Okay, great. So I pegged it at 12. I have the Bills then at 12 wins. So I'm in for that. I know they play Kansas City on that Sunday night game. You and I are looking to go to that game in Kansas City that night. That will be a fucking blast because it's 2 of my favorite quarterbacks, to be honest with you, Mahomes and Josh Allen going at it. And yes, that I will put money on. I've got the Bills winning more than 12 games for sure.
I got 11 for sure. So yeah, I would say 12 is safe.
Yeah.
They're not. That team doesn't really lose games they're supposed to win.
No, and they've got another team with a good defense that'll hold up. And this division's weak. I mean, look, you're 2 against the Patriots, 2 against the Jets, 2 against the Dolphins, and you got to play in Buffalo. A lot of teams get shell shocked coming up to Buffalo from that cold. I love the Bills, and I don't see any reason that they shouldn't get back to the AFC Championship again here. Just looking at it, yes, there's going to be a lot of boring picks this year, I think, from me. Do the Bills, though, have a shot to beat the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl?
No, not a chance. But if the Chiefs line is healthy,
correct, yeah. Yep.
Then no.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
No,
I don't think anybody does, to be honest.
I think I'm with you on that. As much as I would love to say the other. Now, I will sprinkle on this team to win it all because I did last year. I'm going to do it again because if there is an injury or something to Mahomes or whatever, Bills are certainly next up.
Well, I mean, they've got
in the AFC to me.
Yeah, and if frankly, if they had kept Chet Schofield, then we would be having a whole different conversation right now.
I know we would.
He's not so much on the field, but a clubhouse leader, right?
And a father figure to
a lot of the young men. Yeah,
a lot of the young men out there.
But yeah, I think they'll definitely win that division. Nobody in that division is a problem for them.
No, and next up is the New York Jets. You know what's fun about this? Because it's on yours. That's why I'm not bringing this up, Delco Dan. In all sincerity, I like to try to guess what Vegas has done with this. I'm going to say for the New York Jets, they probably have that over-under at 5.5.
6.
Boom.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I haven't looked at any of this shit. So, yeah, I don't have them winning 6 games. But I am interested in seeing Zach Wilson, where you and I both hated Sam Darnold so much that I wouldn't even watch those games. This kid, I'll at least check into a couple of these games for a quarter or two and give it a shot. But that over-under is exactly where it should be. Right now, I'm taking the under. I think this is a 5-win team. But if this kid shows promise, it'll get more people to go there.
I think, under 6, 100%.
Yep.
They have a draftee as a running back who's never touched the foot. He's a 4th-round draft pick, right? Which is for running backs. It's serviceable down the line, but probably not. Probably not a number 2
not a
guy.
superstar. Yeah.
And Tevin Coleman didn't even really play last year. right?
Oft injured Tevin Coleman. Played for the Falcons, played for the 49ers.
There is a very good chance that before we're even into week 4, they're in second, third, fourth string running back mode, right? And for a young quarterback like this, I mean, what we're going to see is probably good numbers out of Zach Wilson. Like if you want to pick him up in fantasy as your number 2 quarterback, that's probably not a bad idea, to be honest, because Jamison Crowder can still catch the ball. But that team is going to get fucking hammered week in and week out.
I agree.
And they've also had big problems. This is the same shit with with Cincinnati. They've had big problems with that line over the last couple of years.
And they haven't repaired it. It's not getting better.
This dude is going to get fucking murdered, man.
Yes. They're going to trot him out there, and this could be like a Joe Burrow situation. Where
we'll get to Joe Burrows later because nobody is fucking talking about that guy right now.
No one.
Like you haven't heard his name spoken on fucking ESPN this entire preseason so far.
Nothing about the guy. Next up is the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins made the playoffs last year, Delco. So with the Miami Dolphins, I'm going to say that Vegas put them at 9.5.
9 or 9.5, yeah.
And I'm real curious about this because we have a lot of Dolphins fans out there.
It's
surprisingly, 9. It is 9.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude. Don't fucks with me during football
game,
season.
Though, really throws me off.
How long
it does, but I can put it in there. At least it's an odd number for gambling. That's why that hook is going to matter. That half game is going to matter, or these half.
How long is Will Fuller suspended?
That is a great question.
Because to be honest, I mean,
talking about Will Fuller 5?
Yeah. Devontae Parker, Will Fuller 5, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki.
6 games.
6 games, yeah.
Pretty decent.
So here's the reason I'm going under on this one. I think this is going to be a Baker Mayfield sitch for Tua, where there's enough footage on him that I think he regresses. And I know this sounds crazy, but I think Fitzmagic, another year with this fucking team would have been great for them.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the defense is very good.
Yes.
Right. We'll see. I mean, they're staffed very well. We'll see if the scheme and everything works out and they play well together. That's also important. But
to me, they're just missing a quarterback too. Like,
what was the record though for Cleveland in that year, the sophomore year, where people figured out Mayfield? They still won 9 games, right? 8 or 9 games.
I think they were at 6. I want to say 6 because I know they were battling with the Falcons. It was a buddy of mine, Phil Cease. Shout out Phil Cease, diehard Browns fan. Was fucking with me that a whole year, and the Falcons, were shitty, and they came back and won almost the same amount of games.
They were 7, 8, and 1 in 2018. What were they in 2019?
6 and 10.
Yeah, there it is.
6 wins.
Yeah, because I think the Falcons ended up with 7, and I was just like, eh.
So call it 7 then for the extra game. Just give it to them, and you're still not at 9 yet.
No.
I mean, but frankly, who knows? Nobody ever thought that fucking Doug Flutie would be a good quarterback, and he wasn't. You know what I mean? He had some good moments, but he didn't string together like multiple seasons of great football.
But the Flutie flakes were so good.
That never happened. How often have you seen it? There's only with the hand size thing. The only guy I can think of is Drew Brees, right?
Yeah.
With the height thing, I can't think of anybody that strung together 4, 5, 6 seasons. I mean, Jeff Garcia was 6'1". He was on the line, and he strung together about 4 or 5 really good Pro Bowl level seasons. You don't see dudes under 6'2" do that.
Yeah, so I would look with Tua. I think they got enough footage. I think he regresses, and I'm under on that.
He's listed at 6'1" too. There's no fucking way that dude's 6'1". He's like 5'10" and a half.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Fast as shit though.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. You can't run that Wildcat shit though in the NFL, dude. You get blown the fuck up immediately. And when the defensive linemen run the same speed that the linebackers did in college, you're fucked, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like these dudes are 340 pounds and they're running 40s faster than I can fucking pick this shit up and drink it. It's ridiculous.
And if you remember correctly, in the offseason, Miami was the destination for Deshaun Watson. They were gonna give him up for Tua. And you put Deshaun Watson on that team, Jesus Christ. Then you got a fucking squad. But this, to me, it's like the Browns. There's a fucking ton of talent all over. I just don't believe in the quarterback.
I mean, if you're Houston, do you trade? I would trade for Tua and get Watson out of there. And if I was,
they had the opportunity and they didn't do it.
If I was the Dolphins, I mean, how many times is this shit gonna happen? How many times are teams going to be like, no, man, we got it. We figured it out. It's literally never happened.
Yeah.
Not once, except for Drew Brees in the entire history of the NFL, where a dude who is clearly under 6 foot tall and has small hands has success in the NFL as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Adding speed to it doesn't change anything.
No.
Motherfucker. Like unless that's just your game.
What about Russell Wilson's 5'11"?
Drew Brees.
That's true. Russell Wilson and Drew Brees. Russell Wilson's one, but he's got massive fucking hands too.
Here's the thing, man. I hate Russell Wilson just as much.
Yeah, but you hate him, but he is a fucking excellent NFL quarterback. He is very, very good. He also doesn't shrink under the pressure. Like that interception, that's not him. That's a bad play call.
He had a terrible second half of last year. He was the MVP for the first half of the season and a terrible second half. I think here's why I don't like Russell Wilson.
He wants out of Seattle. That's what that was.
Well, also, he's too concerned with his brand.
Oh, yeah.
When we were on, actually, that Tim Grover interview, here's the odd thing. I know you were out that day, but it was Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan sold him to Kobe Bryant. From Kobe Bryant, he went to...
You can't own people.
Well, he did.
I've tried.
And he talked about it on the show. He was like, look, I couldn't do anything. Like, that's it. I was under contract. So from Kobe, he went to Dwayne Wade. From Dwayne Wade, he went to Russell Wilson. So this is his first year working with Russell Wilson. We'll see. I believe in Tim Grover. I can tell you that.
Yeah, Grover's the man. But, I mean, look, Russell Wilson is also – he's always been one of those guys that's prepared. Right.
Yes.
I mean,
he's a smart guy and he's a good quarterback. I just dislike his whole bullshit. And
Sean, don't type in here that Russell Wilson is 6'1". He is not 6'1".
He is not 6'1".
Motherfucker. Neither is Drew Brees.
Not even close.
Drew Brees wasn't even 6'1" before he went bald.
No. And you gotta he's
down here.
He permed his fucking hair just so he could get that 6'1", dude.
Well,
with me with a perm, I'm 6'5".
What is it?
We're talking fletch shit.
6'3", 6'9" with afro.
With afro, yeah.
Thank you. Bob, I could tell you wanted to say that. I'm sorry for stealing your thunder.
Sorry, Bob.
He's every time I can see Bob get excited sometimes. He's like, oh, I know this. I'm getting in there.
Yeah.
And then I fucking ruin it every time.
Yeah.
He got in a fist fight with a fly the other day.
Did he?
Yeah, he
couldn't
won.
find that fucking Osaka clip today. I just hate having bad shows. You know that, Bob.
I know you do.
It bothers me all the way home.
I'm angry at Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't know why they were all sharing the other clip.
I will say this with the podcast, and that's true. I know I've said this on a couple other interviews, not our own show, but like, dude, if I have a bad one, it fucking haunts my dreams like all night long, and I'm pissed off about it. And that was a bad one this morning.
Oh, there's
it's not your fault.
There's some conversation. What are you fucking Goodwill Hunting over there now?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Robin Williams, dude. You just Robin Williams.
All right, R.I.P. by the way.
R.I.P.
People are fucking talking shit. Schofield and Craig are talking shit about who's getting that Schofield jersey. And this is what I want to see.
It's a great one.
We may just remove it from a prize for one of the leagues and just have you guys fist fight to the death for that goddamn thing. Or you have to wrestle Jack Mandeville in oil.
By the way, Bill Schofield is my drinking bro of the week on this show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say it now. So I met up with him in Iowa. Actually was able to get him into the game itself because of some sweet MLB behind the scenes access shit. And dude, he's a fucking rad dude, man. Like, I spent an entire day with him.
Yeah, he is.
He's funny as shit.
Well, he said
I'm a big fan. I'm such a fan. He should come and fucking work here. Like, he's rad.
What the fuck does he do?
I don't know.
What do you do, Bill?
Say what you do, Bill.
Anyways, yeah, my understanding is that he and his lady are going to be in Kansas City that weekend.
I told him we would get him tickets.
Right? Yeah, if he comes,
I said even if you and I die of AIDS or in a plane crash, we'll just get him tickets anyways, and you guys can enjoy your lives.
Well, we're going to go whether we're dead or AIDS or whatever.
Yeah.
That's one of the best games of the year.
Yes, so we'll be there in an urn at least.
Fucked,
next up, we got the AFC North here. We'll start off with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, they're 2-0 in preseason right now.
They're lighting it up, buddy.
They're crushing it because they played the Cowboys week 1.
Nathan Rudolph.
God.
Nathan. He seems like a guy.
The picture of him without the bar on his helmet, where it's just the helmet. That's all Bob, if you can pull that up when he got killed by Myles Garrett.
He's probably a nice guy.
That's all I picture Mason Rudolph.
That's the problem with being a public figure.
And I don't believe he said the N-word that day either.
No, of course not. There's nothing but black dudes on the fucking field.
Yes.
Like,
somebody would have flipped out.
Somebody would have whooped his ass immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
they did.
Well,
yeah.
Not for that though. Dwayne Haskins is on that team.
Haskins has turned into a real piece of shit. He's an Ohio State guy, but he was never like that in college. I don't know what happened to that fucking dude.
He turned into a real clubhouse problem.
Oh,
like not on
everything.
On the field, obviously, he's had his issues. Yeah, it's hilarious. Back in my day, we didn't have face shields.
Look at that. Looks like he's an extra in Leatherheads
Fucking
with
Cooper.
George Clooney.
George Clooney. Who else is in that? What's that? Oh, was it John Krasinski?
John Krasinski, yeah.
That's a great
Krasinski,
movie.
yeah.
It was Krasinski.
Steelers still do have a pretty good fucking football team.
They do. Roethlisberger slimmed down. They got a running back there.
They
got
Najee Harris.
I know.
He is a running back. He is a wide receiver. He's probably cooking their food.
He's great.
He is a flex guy. If you're looking for a fucking help in the flex, that's my guy right there.
Chase Claypool is really fucking good.
Yeah.
You got Juju,
And they still
Simon
got
Smith
Benny
and
Snell
Schuster.
Jr. Benny Snell Jr. Say what you want about him.
know.
He's having fucking issues with keep staying healthy and shit. But he is a fucking downhill third down back runner,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you've seen on the successful Pittsburgh Steelers teams over the years.
Yeah.
is they have a main running back, and then they have that fucking knucklehead, and they got Jalen Samuels still on that team.
And they got a decent defense, man. So I'm looking at this, and I'm going to guess their over-under is 10.5.
It's gotta be
in
11.
Vegas.
No.
What is
11
8.5.
it? Ooh, I'm all over that.
in
then.
that division.
They don't know Roethlisberger's status.
Oh, is he hurt?
Yeah. Well, he's always hurt.
Well, yeah, he's always hurt, but now's a good time to take that, to be honest, because fuck.
Yes.
Yeah, he's probably. I mean,
8.5.
The chances of him playing this season are greater than him not playing, probably. So if they're going to give you 3 wins, almost right. I would have pegged him. I would have bet it if it was 11.5. I would have still bet the over. I think they're going to win 12 games.
I would have just pegged him. I'm in it. I'm a believer in that. 8.5. Fuck off. That's going to be a big bet for Dad.
I mean, that's
dude.
one of those risky bets because you don't know what his situation's going to be. But if his situation is good, you know they're going to win more than 8.5 games.
What was the injury? I know he lost a bunch of weight in the offseason. What was the injury? Do you know?
I don't know. The shoulder, his leg. He's
Yeah,
fallen
but
apart his entire career.
It's fine, but he's always played and he's always gone to the playoffs. I'm not. If he, yes, I'm betting on Roethlisberger. I think he'll easily beat 8.5. Even 9 wins is a 9-8 team. That's barely above 500. I'm in that. For sure. I know this is a tougher division this year.
It is, but I think even with Mason Rudolph playing quarterback right there, they probably win 8 or 9 games.
I don't know. It depends.
Right?
Is he going to get? He's got to lose the bar on his helmet if he does it.
I don't know if that's legal.
I don't either. But I'm in on that, and I think they end up having a decent squad if Roethlisberger stays healthy. Next up is the Cleveland Browns. My God, dude, this is besides the Cowboys, the most overrated team in football. I will say that Vegas has them at
13.
12.5 wins.
Yeah, probably.
Which team again? Sorry.
The
12.5.
Browns, the
Browns.
Cleveland Browns. I'm going to say 12.5 is what Vegas has them at.
Damn, is this the best division in football? Maybe if Roethlisberger plays and
Depends
the
on
Browns
if
do well,
Joe Burrow is healthy though.
It's 10.5.
It is.
Yeah.
I'd take that.
Damn it, dude.
I'll take them at 10.5. I think they win 12 or 13 games this year.
That would be 11-6. I'm fine with that. I think they make the playoffs. I think if they get a quarterback mid-season, I think they might be fine. Who's their backup? Is it still Case Keenum?
Yeah.
Okay, man. They should just get a Matt Ryan.
They've
Just get a game manager.
Case
Get a
Keenum's pretty
Ryan.
good.
Yeah. Well, I thought, and then he came in and played a couple games last year, and he wasn't that great. And I was like, "What the fuck happened to you?"
Baker Mayfield had 26 touchdowns and 8 interceptions last year.
What does he have?
26 and 8.
Yeah, it's just
3,500 yards.
Very pedestrian.
That's not pedestrian. That's a fucking 3-to-1 ratio.
My son will have that in fucking this year at
he
3
won't.
years old.
No. 62%
So-
or 63% completion percentage. That's on the low end of good.
No shit.
That's good, but it's a little bit on the low end.
63 is terrible.
No, it's not.
63%.
No, that's not terrible for an NFL quarterback.
Right
Gross.
now, Baker Mayfield is 35-1 to win the NFL MVP.
He's not going to
You
win
could
the
put
goddamn
you could
Hammer
put it
it.
at 80,000 to 1.
Hammer
Hammer
it.
it.
He has the same odds
Oh
as
my
Derrick
God.
Henry to win the MVP.
Oh my God. The two of you guys in a dream world. I want this on camera forever so I can play this clip. You said to me before this show started, you have Browns Rams Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yes, and you're sticking by that.
Yes.
Bob.
Although I just took Saints at 35-1.
How is there no camera on you guys? Because I want to.
There is.
Oh,
I can
great.
put it there,
Yeah, turn it on.
I want to be able to share this video and audio with people.
Okay.
Friends and family, everything else. So you have the Browns going to the Super Bowl, both of you, right?
No, we both have the Rams going to the Super Bowl. I think
Okay.
the Chiefs make the Super Bowl again. I think the Chiefs are unstoppable.
Okay.
I'm just trying to be different.
But
yeah.
I do think the Browns make the AFC Championship game unless they just get screwed and catch the Chiefs earlier.
Yeah, but think about the way the Browns play football, though. Say what you want about the turnover in personnel and things like that, changing schemes, and not just on their team but others. But the Browns typically fade a little bit towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
And Tennessee and Baltimore do not. They go fucking wild at the end of the year. I don't know why.
I don't either.
Oh, I mean, I know why. It's because of that giant bastard they have in Tennessee. That motherfucker seems to pick up steam.
Derrick Henry.
The more tired he gets, he's just like ripping phone books in half.
I love
towards
him.
the end of the season. And then Baltimore has no short of guys. Like, they're a ground and pound kind of organization anyways, right? So, of course, they're going to do better down the stretch.
Yeah.
So saying that Cleveland is going to get through the AFC to the AFC Championship game seems like a bit of a stretch to me, to be honest. With
Yes.
the Bills,
it's
the
I mean,
Chiefs.
it's deep.
Come on, man.
I've got,
deep field.
and hey, my sleeper, before we get to it, on that side is the Titans, actually. So, like, I don't even have Browns in my top 3.
I think the Titans are going to win 13 or 14 games.
So do
this year,
I, dude.
I think they're going to be really fucking good.
So do I.
But who the fuck knows? I mean, the problem with them is always that Derrick Henry gets off to a fucking slow start, right?
Yeah, but they got Julio Jones now.
Yeah, and Tannehill has. Can we say that Tannehill's like a top 5 quarterback right now?
If you're going to,
be
all right,
honest?
I'll put it this way: you're Baker bullshit for MVP. If you're going to put it on for real, if you're going to go that far with it,
Yeah.
I would put money on Ryan Tannehill as the MVP.
Fun story. They have the exact same odds.
Oh no shit!
35-1.
Even better.
Yeah.
I would take that over Baker for sure. right?
Yes.
Since we're on the Titans, though, you want to guess their over-under on
Yes,
wins?
their over/under on wins is going to be
Probably 10.5.
12.5.
Not even close.
10.5.
What do you got?
9.5.
Oh God, I'm all hammer down on that. Are you kidding me?
That's silly. Come on.
I am all fucking in on that.
Let's get
dude.
back in line, though. We're at the Bengals now.
Yeah. Don't get me distracted because I'm gonna fucking pull my dick out on this show. We'll be banned from YouTube forever.
We took a bunch of pills before the show, so we're both going to pull our dicks out
Yes,
probably at some
dude.
point.
Yes.
Usually what happens is the production team doesn't tell us that the show is still happening or that it's ended.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah,
oh, the
yeah,
show's over. Fucking
Yeah, but who's washing your back?
Omar Vizquel.
Omar Vizquel. And
oh, no, I'm going to flip it on him, right?
Yeah.
That's what we should do.
autistic guy.
Instead of that, what was that movie where they, Sleepers? Not Sleepers. What's that movie where the guys get back together and murder the
I think that
fucking
is
dude
Sleepers.
It might be Sleepers.
Yeah.
It was like the boys' home
Yep.
security
Yeah.
guy that
Yeah,
they
it's Sleepers.
fucked up. We should start doing that with Catholic priests instead. Why are people trying to send them to jail and shit?
I know.
Just get all the guys they raped together and go fucking rape this dude.
Yeah, and then you end it. But
End the cycle.
end the cycle. Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know. Burrow coming back with that injury. They didn't get him a line either. I don't. Man, I've got this Bengals team at probably. I bet
when's
you
he
Vegas said
expected to be back?
7.5.
Oh no, 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah, for sure. There's no way they're winning 7 games. Even with him there, they didn't really do what they needed to do.
Yeah,
But
no line.
He hasn't played yet.
He got Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase is a fucking amazing,
know.
by the way.
I
But
know.
you have to be able
T.
to fucking.
Higgins.
You have to be standing upright to throw the football.
I agree.
So we'll see about that. They still have. They got Chris Evans now.
Yeah.
He's not a terrible running back, to be honest. He's I think he's going to be okay in the league. And then they've got this. What's his name? God, what the fuck is this?
Joe
guy's
Mixon.
name?
Joe Mixon
Yeah,
is great.
Yeah.
Mixon has always been good. Mixon's a second.
So
maybe second round
they
fantasy
get away
guy.
with some stuff. But
They don't have a line.
What's Burrow's status right now? I'm looking in their injury report. He's not on the injury report.
No, look, he's scheduled to play week 1 for real.
Is he going to play any in the preseason? I mean,
No,
he should not,
no,
right? There's
he's
no
not.
way after that injury.
He's not. And look, if anybody's going to come back from him, it's him. He's a
That
smart
dude's a
guy,
stud, yeah.
and I think his second year, he'll be pretty decent, but they don't have a line. I don't know what's going to happen
He's a
there.
victim of his own success.
Correct.
If he hadn't had the greatest season of any college quarterback ever, he probably would have gone somewhere between 4 and 8. maybe, or if not then 20 to fucking 32, right?
Who knows?
Something like that. And he would have been on a much better team. He would have sat for a year or two, and then he would have been maybe one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen play football.
Yeah.
Now, who knows if he even gets out of the fucking early part of his career.
He lives.
Does he
if
live
he stays alive
through his rookie contract? I mean, look, that motherfucker.
It's like David Carr.
David Carr got lit the fuck up. He set the record. He played his rookie year, had good success. And in years 2 and 3, I think he set the record in each of them getting sacked. Like back-to-back years, he set the record for getting sacked. And
I think before the season, he was projected as like a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Joe Burrow?
Yeah,
Yeah, but he had never played any meaningful games in college
No, he
before.
didn't. He played the whole year before.
Dude, I mean, but he played for
But that was a
the
dog shit
shittiest
season for LSU
team of all time.
Yeah.
Like, he had no idea what was going on. We were at that game against Alabama. They looked like children.
It was that was one of the worst college football games I've ever been to.
He was running for it. Was 29-0, I think it ended. He was running for his life the whole time. I've never seen.
I don't even know if they got past the 50.
In what we would consider to be a top tier Power 5 team, right? Even in their bad years, LSU typically has good run game and good defense. I've never seen a Power 5 team like that whoop on a I mean, that was one of the more embarrassing displays I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it was fucking crazy, dude.
At any rate, the Bengals aren't going to win shit this year either way. Even if he plays, they're not going to win because they still didn't fix that line.
No, they didn't fix the line, and I'm getting people hitting me up right now watching the show, and they're like, "Fuck you and the Browns," dude. I can't hear your bullshit. I get so many fucking because I went to Ohio State. Everybody loves the goddamn Browns, and I hate the Browns. With that line, I
like the Browns. I like all those players. I even like Baker Mayfield. I just don't know if he could do it.
I don't either.
I like him. I like as a dude. I think he's a pretty cool guy.
As a homie?
Yeah, I think he would be probably fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
He's going to be a really good analyst at some point, for sure. Right? He's probably going to be one of those guys that transitions into it because he's such a big personality. I just don't know if he's going to be able to overcome that high. If you can't do it with that fucking Cleveland Brown roster,
no,
it cannot be done.
It cannot be
probably,
done.
Right? Or can we agree on that, you two assholes?
Yeah, he's got the tools.
Imagine Joe Burrow for the Browns. My God, man, that's it. I would have. Look, I could go on about this forever.
Joe Burrow on any
so
team other than the fucking Bengals.
Yes.
Put Joe Burrow on that Miami Dolphins team right now. That is a fucking playoff team.
Yes,
100%.
dude. 100%.
That shit drives me crazy. It's like
same.
It's like having Mike Trout in fucking Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Or Ohtani even. Get those motherfuckers out of there and let them play some real football. Speaking of real football, the Baltimore Ravens are a real football team.
I think so, dude. Baltimore this year, because they had an off year last year. It was COVID. There was a bunch of bullshit happening.
Yeah.
I'd love them to have a great season this year. I'm going to say that's 10.5 in Vegas.
Probably.
Baltimore Ravens. And I really like them. I think Jackson has a fucking bounce back year.
I mean, you say bounce back year. He was a little fucked up last year, I guess. But his rate stats were
he was
still
out
really
with
good.
COVID for
the first
4 games or 3 games or whatever it was.
Just the postseason or preseason, right?
No,
he only
that's this year.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He only missed 1 regular season game last year.
Oh, he did? Okay.
It was like the first game of the year maybe or something like that. I don't remember. But he did have COVID at some point. Touchdowns were way down. He went from 36 to 26, but he also threw a lot fewer passes. A couple more interceptions. His rate stats were down, but his rating was still 99. I mean, that's at 100. That's a fucking almost getting close
100%.
to Pro Bowl level. He's a very, very good quarterback.
And J.K. Dobbins is in his second year. He's going to have a big year. Is it 10.5?
It's 10.5.
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
Be 10.5. Yeah,
God damn
he rushed for 1,000 yards last year. He will do it again this year. I don't think he's that. I don't think he's one of those guys that's going to have to stop. We haven't seen him have the same injury problems that Michael Vick did.
Well, he's a big dude in real life, dude.
He is a fucking. He's listed at 6'1", 212. He is 6'2", 212. He looks bigger than that to me.
Fuck yeah, same here, dude.
Maybe it's just the shape of his body or some shit like that, but he also doesn't take big hits.
No.
Like he doesn't. Michael Vick would run seams. Mm-hmm. This motherfucker is bouncing. He looks like goddamn Barry Sanders out there. He doesn't get hit really hard that often. Maybe he will at some point. I don't know.
Maybe, but I like them to have a decent year, and
I'm going to take the over. It's 10.5. On that, I'll take the over.
I'll take the over on that as well. I think they hit 11, but I think that's a great line for them.
I like Marquise Brown.
Sure. Next up, we got the Houston Texans here.
Who knows? Don't put any of your money on any of this because you don't even know who's going out there. But for the sake of argument, even if Watson plays like he wants to be there, come on, man. I mean, Philip Lindsay's there, Mark Graham's there. That is a really good fucking dual back situation 3 years ago. I don't know what it looks like now. It may be good again. Lindsey's had problems staying on the field. Mark Ingram has done pretty well, but he was in a limited role.
He's got to be 90 years old at this
Baltimore,
point.
right? Well,
Yeah.
that doesn't matter for some of those guys. They do have Brandon Cooks, who I think is really fucking good.
He is really good.
He's just having played for the fucking Chargers, which is not a real football team.
Right.
Right. I think he got overlooked a lot. 1,100 yards again last season. That motherfucker is legit as shit. But it's a whole new situation on the defensive side, right? So your defensive captain for the last 11 years is J.J. Watt's gone now.
Yep.
And what does that look like? How do they rebuild? This is a team in rebuild. So you should expect a team in rebuild in the NFL is usually a 5 to 7 win team.
I still think he gets traded too. I think he goes to Philly.
Maybe.
I really do.
Maybe. I mean, that would be a good deal for Philly because, look, depending on what they gave up, but it's even at worst case scenario, you're going to have him for the whole season.
Yeah.
Because his trial's not until February. So.
And I think that shit gets settled, man. I think, fuck it. I'm not a big race guy for any of this bullshit, but like this one in particular, when he asked for that trade and all these women came out magically
weird.
to the same lawyer and everything else, that seemed like some backwoods Southern bullshit that they were pissed off.
It seems like, hey, if you're trying to leverage, like you hired a private investigator and he's like, well, here's what he's into. How could we leverage that?
Right.
Right. I mean, I don't think there's anything illegal about going to a massage parlor and asking them to jerk you off. Right. I mean, getting jerked off and then paying them for it is illegal.
Yeah.
Technically, depending on where you are in the United States.
It shouldn't be, but
just
it is.
asking is not necessary unless you keep doing it over and over and it's established as harassment.
Right.
Then it becomes illegal.
Right.
But I guess maybe it's conspiracy to commit a misdemeanor, but are you even going to get charged for something like that? It would have to be the harassment or the assault.
There was no rape. It was just harassment and assault is what they're saying.
So what you shouldn't
forcing their
expect to
hands
see
down on his wiener.
What you shouldn't expect to see is like some like jail time or some long suspension. But who knows what it's doing to the guy's head?
It would have happened already.
You would think so, yeah.
Yeah. I think he's great. I would love to see him in Philly. I think if he goes to Philly, man, Jesus Christ, what an exciting team. Him and Devonta Smith. Mm-hmm. Man, I don't even care what happens to them. Just put the two of those guys together.
Is Devonta Smith the best wide receiver that's come through the draft in a while? Or what do you think?
It's tough to say because most of these guys have translated pretty well. I mean, you look at Jefferson last year for Minnesota. He had a monster year.
He was like that. That is
he would have won the Packers the Super Bowl
for sure. Yeah, that was a big deal, by the way, for Minnesota to let homeboy go. Right.
Yeah.
That's how much confidence they had in him, and they were right about that shit. I mean, he's.
The only knock on Devonta Smith, and like, look, I've seen him on the field in real life.
He's a little teensy.
Yes.
He's a teensy.
Tiny little man, but I've never seen a faster human on the field than that.
Well, Randy
fucking
Moss
altered my mind in the
Randy
national
Moss wasn't
championship
walking
last year.
around. Randy Moss was like 6'4" and what, like 210 or some shit like that.
He was
when he came in the league, he was
thin.
a beanpole,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And there's been other guys like even Marvin Harrison was skinny and he was short, even, right?
He reminds me of Deshaun Jackson. So I think,
But he's had a lot of injury problems, right?
Yes. So I think that'll probably happen to him too. But I think him and Watson would be great.
3
but
or 4 years out of that.
Don't put any money on Houston Texans.
No, don't waste your time.
The over's 4.
I was going to say 4.5.
It's 4?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And it's plus money for the over.
Yeah. I agree with it. I don't think he'll be there. I don't know who their backup is, and I don't care.
What Vegas hates more than anything else is uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, I might take the over. 4 is a ridiculous number.
It
Out of
is
17 games.
But to get to 5 wins,
I mean, they still play Jacksonville, and who knows what that team even looks like. They're
Right.
gonna play fucking Miami. Who knows what that team? They'll have a great defense, but who knows other than that? They play the Jets. I mean, there's wins on this schedule. They do have a really tough schedule, though. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's Cleveland. We don't know what Carolina's going to look like, but if CMC comes back and he's healthy, that's a tough game. Buffalo, New England, Indianapolis, Arizona, who's improved. The fucking Chargers, who have improved. Tennessee, who's
is it
not
at
easy.
Cleveland?
Tennessee twice. Yeah, it's at Cleveland. Week 2. Yeah.
All right.
I change everything I said. I don't think they can win 4 games. I don't see 4 wins on this.
If he stays, I think they do it, but I don't think he stays, and I think that's what they're probably betting on. That's just my guess.
Well, he's not even working out with the team.
No.
And we're 3 weeks away from the season,
Yeah,
right? He's not going to play there.
I don't think so.
Next up is the Titans. They're going to win some games.
Love the
what did we say
Titans
the over-under on that one was?
My guess is, well, we already said it. But
I already said it. I think it was 9.5.
9.5, but I'm all in on that. That is That is my lock of the season.
9.5. You got to be fucking kidding me.
Lock of the season. Go ahead and book it, dude. You've got, and it's a shit division with the Texans, the Colts, and the Jaguars.
They play the Texans twice.
That's 6-year games.
They play the Jets twice. They play Jacksonville twice.
Colts
right?
twice.
Colts twice.
Colts
yeah.
twice. They play Jacksonville twice. But some of these other games, I mean, shit. We don't know about Miami. San Francisco is going to be. We'll get to that later. I think that Trey Lance is going to be playing football in San Francisco a lot.
So do I.
People think.
So do I.
Because
he's outplayed him in camp, by the way, which we'll get to that when we talk to him.
I mean,
but
that's nothing.
with this Tennessee Titans team, man, I actually have.
I love this team.
In the AFC, depending upon how you slot the playoffs, I've got either Chiefs versus Bills or Chiefs versus Titans. And look, if there's an injury to Mahomes, I would put the Titans in the fucking Super Bowl.
I probably would too, just because I have a lot more confidence in Tannehill than I have in any of the other quarterbacks over there. I mean, maybe if we're midway through the season and Roethlisberger's looking like Roethlisberger, that changes everything. With Najee Harris there and that defense. I mean, that even their defense was fucking brutal. I think they were like halfway through the season last year averaging 15 points, giving up a game or some shit like that. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even with the shitty offense they had. But what they don't have is Derrick Henry, who's going to run for somewhere close to 2,000 yards because apparently that's what he does.
He never gets hurt. He's too big.
I mean, he is a fucking massive human being. He's going to run for probably somewhere between 15 and 1,700 yards this year. I doubt he's going to put up 2,000 again.
I was on the field looking at him and up at him. I mean, it was fucking insane how massive this guy is in real life. I can't even put it into words, and it doesn't look like an ounce of fat on him in real life either.
He looks like
it's fucking insane.
Remember Julio Franco?
Yeah,
Played for the Braves, Rangers, a bunch of people.
Played till he was 56 years old.
Yeah. I didn't really notice him because I was a Braves fan and he played in the American League for the Rangers at the time until he came over to the Braves. Didn't really think about him that much, right? But then you start seeing him in these Sports South or Turner or TBS broadcasts, and they're not talking to him because he didn't do shit, but he's in the locker room after the game, and the dude's like 45 years old.
Jacked.
And he looks like Rudy Reyes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what Rudy does. Drugs, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But Rudy works out constantly. He is always on it. This motherfucker is like that, but at 100 fucking pounds.
Yeah.
He's probably walking around at 250. It says on his...
it's got to be close.
They have him
man.
listed
245.
They have him listed as 6'3", 247, and usually you go up for height and down for weight depending on the position.
He's probably 255.
He's probably 255. He's probably 6'2" to 6. He may be taller than that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is a fucking Hulk of a man, and it doesn't. There have been pitchers in baseball history. Walter Johnson was one of them back in the day. Nolan Ryan was one of them who seemed to get stronger as time goes on. Mm-hmm. Not just like their career, but like inside of a game or a season. Syndergaard's another one of them. When he's healthy, you see his fastball go from like an average of 97 to an average of 98 in the latter part of the game sometimes. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that is physiologically that causes that, but every single year it seems like Tennessee's wavering. They're kind of like a cusp playoff team, and all of a sudden this motherfucker goes crazy.
Yeah.
And now you've got Julio Jones.
I know.
Man, fuck you.
It's a great team.
I think these guys win 13 or 14 games, to be honest.
Same, and I've got, this is my sleeper pick to win the Super Bowl. The odds on that on my bookie to win the Super Bowl for these guys are, I gotta imagine. I'm gonna guess before I look at it. I'll probably say 7-1. Tennessee Titans are shit.
22-1.
You're kidding
Plus
me.
2,200.
Wow.
The fucking the Dolphins are plus 2,500, and they got the
crazy.
Tennessee Titans. What do you got? I'm
sprinkling that, dude.
I'm not hearing a lot out of you two assholes back there.
About what? About the
The
Titans?
Titans,
Yeah, dude.
man. That is.
It's just such a fucking it's a concrete ceiling that is the Chiefs. Like it's just.
It is, but what we're saying though is if something happens to Mahomes, right?
Yeah.
I've got the Titans and Bills right there, and I would put the Titans ahead of the Bills just based on talent with Julio Jones now, because now that's going to open up the run game even more. As if that motherfucker needed it, he does not, because they get AJ Brown too.
Yeah, but their defense sucks.
It's not great.
When you're running the ball, you're able to chew up the clock.
It's pretty. Their defense is pretty good, and they have the benefit of they're probably going to be ahead in a lot of games. But Tennessee is a very boring team to watch for the first 5 or 6 games of the year, right?
Look, they're always very boring. However, with Julio Jones, now you've got my attention.
Yeah, well, with Julio Jones,
attention.
maybe they get started a little earlier, right? Because of that, and that changes things.
Yeah,
right. You get that momentum started earlier, and to be honest. He's Derrick Henry is like fucking what's the not the X-Men but the mutant that can't be stopped. What's his name?
Oh, fuck.
With the helmet.
he reminds me of the brick wall and fucking Fantastic Four, whatever that guy's
the
name
Juggernaut.
is.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Remember that dude? Derrick Henry's like that. Once he gets going, and I'm talking about an individual play and for the season, that's just it.
Yeah.
Like he just keeps fucking mowing people down.
I'm extremely high on the Titans. Next up is the Indianapolis Colts. Look, we don't know what's going to happen with Wentz. Right now, they're saying he is now slated to return week 1.
I hope so. I just want a full season of fucking football out of this dude to see what he can really do. Because I think he is uber talented.
Same, but it is too dangerous to bet on this team whatsoever without knowing who their quarterback is. Because their second string, I watched the preseason game with Alex Guerrero the other day. He's got a couple clients in that game. And it's right now, it's Eason and Erlinger from Texas.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going to happen. I was right on them last year with Phillip Rivers and all that shit. I called it exactly right, going to the playoffs and everything else. They were my sleeper for the AFC Championship, but Phillip Rivers tired down the stretch. If he is to get, I would say, miss like 3 to 4 weeks, look for Phillip Rivers to come back. He's already said, look, I'm willing to entertain it, so he might show up on a team that's really good. Look, you put Phillip Rivers on the Browns, I think you're probably pretty fine.
No.
I mean, yeah.
You're
good.
running an active campaign to try to get anybody on the Browns other than Baker.
There's too much talent on that team. Just give him a quarterback, and then yes, they might win the Super Bowl.
There's a lot of talent on.
It's a frustrating team.
Indianapolis as well. Jonathan Taylor. I don't know what happened his last year of college football, but he came into the league fucking smoking hot.
Yeah.
Right. He's a 1,000-yard rusher, and Marlon Mack is supposed to be healthy now.
Yep.
He's a fucking former 1,000-yard rusher too.
They've got a good team, man.
You still have Naeem Hines on the back end, although he's been hurt.
He has,
most of the time.
I'm a big Wentz fan. I know a lot of people aren't. I love Wentz, and I think he could do great. I don't know what this injury is going to do to him now in a new offense and all that stuff, but
we'll see. I mean,
it's too dangerous to throw money on it.
They've got T.Y. Hilton and Michael Pittman Jr. too. The offense is pretty good.
They are. Next up is Jacksonville Jaguars.
Over under was 9, by the way.
Of the Colts.
Yeah.
By the way, the reason I didn't ask, I would not risk that money at home.
Yeah.
We do the same thing every year, man. I'll tell you whether or not to put money on it, or I'm not going to just say it just to say it. I fucking hate that bullshit. I'm not going to do it, so I wouldn't risk it on this.
Here's a good question, though. Vegas saying the over-under is 9. Is that assuming Carson Wentz plays or doesn't play? And if they're assuming he doesn't play the whole season and it's 9, what would it be if he played the whole season, right?
I think if Wentz plays the entire season, I think this is a 11-6 team. If he were to play the full season, but it's too unknown, and if he's already hurt now, and then he's got to learn this, it's too much. Just put the wallet down on this one. Next up, Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going to say the over/under on this is 5.5 for Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence.
6.5.
6.5. That's tough.
I would probably take the under in that more because of Urban Meyer than Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to play football in this league, no question. Mm-hmm. But how many college coaches have come over and done well in the NFL?
Not very many.
It's been pretty fucking rare.
Yeah.
And most of them who have tried it, it's not just been a failure. It's been a really bad failure. As a matter of fact, the college coaches that have come over from college to the NFL and had success typically weren't those top-tier Power 5 guys. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Your boy at fucking Alabama came to the NFL. That did not work out at all.
No.
Or what's his name? Pete Carroll is probably the best.
The best, and he did it on accident. Because
Yeah.
remember, USC was getting forced out of there. He knew it before anybody else, and he called his agent, and they go, hey, do we have anybody? And they're like, yeah, the Seahawks job if you want it. And he was like, all right, I guess I'm doing that.
But he didn't try to pull that college bullshit here. And to be honest,
well, he was a fucking coach in New England as well. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Look, Urban, I love in real life. I think he's one of the greatest college football coaches of all time. I was not stoked at the staff he hired to go with him.
No, that was weird.
Bunch of weird fucking picks on that.
But
however,
knows,
there is a lot of fucking talent out here on this team. And I've got them at 6. I will not put them at 6.5. And the only reason I have them at 6 is because Houston's in this division. They play them twice. Indianapolis is in this division. They play them twice, plus or minus Wentz. We'll see what happens. But I have them at 6 if Lawrence plays the whole season. But 6.5, I do not have. Either way, it's a fun team, and I'll be tuning into it. I want to see what ATN does.
They definitely have the benefit. I mean, James Robinson rushed for 1,000 yards last year. Carlos Hyde is 30 now, so who knows what you're going to get out of him. Currently, they have him
Third string.
They have him. They have him at number 2 in the depth chart right now, but Etienne will be ahead of him.
He might get
pretty
cut,
soon.
yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, that combination of Robinson and Etienne is going to be really interesting because both of those guys can also catch passes out of the slot.
If they would have kept Tebow today, I think they would have had a shot at the Super Bowl. But
I think some of that is my fault, actually.
Well, through Christ, anything is possible.
I made quite a bit of fun of him yesterday for his bad blocking, and then today, that's all the articles are like, hey, that
just takes one viral moment and it's all over. But I got him at 6, and I like it. This team is fun enough to watch now. Even with Minshew, dude, back there, like even if he gets hurt, this is a fun team. I'll tune in for the games, but 6 wins is what I got them at. I don't know how Urban does as a NFL coach, just based on what we were talking about earlier with the success of past college coaches.
Jacksonville has the second worst defense in football last year.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
That means you're going to be you want to have that running back core so you can take some focus off the passing game, mix it up a little bit. When you're down fucking 15 points, 14 points at the start of every game, you can't really run the ball. No. You know what I mean? And that means Trevor Lawrence is going to be running for his goddamn life. I hope this is not Joe Burrow 2.0, man.
Their line is fine.
It's good, but goddamn,
it's like it'll keep him upright. And he's a fucking giant person in real life. Remember when we saw him at NC State? I was like, Jesus Christ.
He looks like a man playing against children.
Yes, he looks thinner on TV. In real life, that guy is a fucking strong dude.
What was he over under 6?
6.5. I'll say 6.
It's not going to be 7.
No.
I'll take the under in that.
Same here. I'm gonna go with 6 and 11 for these guys.
Broncos.
Next up, Broncos in the AFC West. Look, man, the Broncos, they've got the talent as far as receivers go. Melvin Gordon is fine. I don't know what they're going to do with Drew Lock. This was another team that Deshaun Watson was going to go to. That's where he wanted to go. Does he end up there? I'm not sure.
They've also got Teddy Bridgewater over there.
I hate Teddy Bridgewater.
So does everybody.
I've always hated him as a quarterback, and
he's like a less exciting Jameis Winston, basically.
Like a less exciting David Garrard. I'm not a fan. The Broncos, I think Drew Lock could be pretty fucking good. Cortland Sutton, I think, is hurt though.
He was hurt most of last year.
I mean, they have weapons all over the
galore. Noah Fant, like all those guys.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy is a fucking great
Jerry
receiver.
Judy's great.
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton's great.
It's really mostly the coaching that sucks. And Locke hasn't been as good as I had hoped he would be, but a lot of that is he's changed, I think, offensive systems every year from his sophomore year of college through this year in the NFL.
I don't think it's him. I think
I don't think it is either.
I think
really
he's got the talent on another team. I just think the coaching staff, I'm with you. I think the coaching staff on the Broncos is shit. They have a great defense. Nothing has changed with that fucking defense. They have a great defense.
What's the
Their coach
over-under?
is defensive minded, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's the over-under on these guys?
I'd probably say 6.5. 7.
For the Broncos,
yeah.
I would
we
say
are
6.
8.5.
Oh, boy.
In a division with the Chiefs and Chargers.
No.
Come on, man.
No.
Don't forget about
This
the
is-
Raiders.
They probably.
The Raiders.
This is actually the first time in 4 years that the Broncos will not have changed offensive coordinators.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. If Locke plays the whole year, then you're going to find out what he's made of, because they certainly have plenty of fucking talent to do something. We'll see if they do. But I don't have high hopes for this team, and I've got $0 on them this year. Next up, we got the Raiders. They did nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, they did something. They mandated vaccines at their fucking stadium.
Oh, that's right. And
which means we won't be going.
we're shit. I already bought our T-shirts though. I can breathe. That's what they say. That's what the owner put out. So I have those T-shirts. I don't know what to do with them.
They should just make a Raiders logo that just says cringe on it.
Yeah, it's time to burn the franchise, I think.
Yeah.
The stadium looks amazing. They're in Vegas. Everybody's hyped. I'm not hyped about this team. I don't know what they're going to do with this David Carr. This has got to be his last.
They got David Carr and Marcus Mariota on their team.
Is it Carr? No, it's not. It's
Derek Carr.
Derek.
Yeah.
It's his brother.
David is his brother, yeah. Josh Jacobs, very good.
Very good.
Kenyon Drake, who came over from Miami, also pretty good. Serviceable number 2.
Darren Waller is my third tight end in fantasy this year.
Henry Ruggs the third.
Yes.
Very good.
Very good.
receiver.
But they need a quarterback and they need a defense, and I don't know what they're going to do.
Even Zay Jones is not bad.
So
yeah, they're
what are the Vegas probably has them? It's 8 wins, right?
7.
7, close.
no fucking way they
No.
win 7 games. This is going to be a bad year.
I actually think that's on the nose. I think it'll be 7 and 9. I think it'll be.
How
7
much
and 9.
longer does Chucky have to turn it around there? I mean, they didn't do anything for him.
They didn't do anything for him.
There's no new
It's not his
personnel.
fault.
So, well, it is his fault because he's fucked it up so far. But,
They turned it on towards the end of the year, and it came down to the last game to go to the playoffs.
My understanding is that whole deal of sending Khalil Mack away and starting over with his own rod, this is all his plan, right?
Yeah.
Getting rid of Khalil Mack?
Yep.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's a generational fucking player.
He did not want to report for whatever reason. He was pissed off about his contract, and went to the Bears and has destroyed. So hey, look, the Raiders, bet at your own risk. We got a bunch of Raiders fans out there. Have fun. That's a fucking coin toss.
Be a Raiders fan at your own risk.
Yeah.
How about that? Kansas City Chiefs are up next. Over under on wins for them, probably 13.5. That'd be my guess.
Yes.
What is it?
13.5 is my exact guess, actually. And I will say this: that is going to be my Super Bowl champion pick. I think they come back this year with that line, and he gets redemption against Brady.
I want to see
12.5.
12.5, yeah.
Over on that for
Yep.
sure.
I think they're going to get 13.
I'd love to see a
13 and 4. That's easy for them.
I think 14-3. We'll see.
No. But if you're looking at just to get that's a 13 and 4 record. They get there easily.
I mean, what do you guys think? You guys are actual football fans too. I want to see not about their play. You can talk about it too, but I want to know who's your dream matchup this year, right? I want to see the rematch. Frankly,
Same.
This is round 3, by the way.
Same, yeah.
Because there was the AFC playoff game. We were at that game.
That's the best narrative, and everything. Like the NFC's boring as shit. Like who else is there that even is interesting?
I'd be interested in like a Chiefs Packers.
Yeah, Packers.
World
Whatever happens throughout the
Super Bowl.
season with Aaron Rodgers is going to be pretty interesting,
Yeah.
right? And if Jameis Winston, if the LASIK worked with that roster, I mean, they're having problems.
It didn't work in preseason.
They're having problems with
Yeesh.
the best receiver on the planet who decided to get surgery 10 minutes before the fucking season started for some reason. Didn't somebody else pull this shit back in the day? Who was it? It was a baseball player or something that got surgery like way late.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah,
Anyways, that was a dumb move. But anyways, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Come on, man. If they're healthy, they're the best team in football by far.
They improved their offensive line, and they've also improved their defense quite a bit as well. Like their defense now is probably a top third of the league unit.
Yeah, and I have them winning the Super Bowl. I have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl this year, and I'm going to go ahead and say that. That's where my money went this year.
Who's their other running back that sat out all last year? Where is he now?
Oh shit! But Clyde Edwards-Helaire is also our Cutthroat Killers signed jersey this year.
I mean, they still have Darrell Williams, right, as their number 2 guy.
They've always had like 90 Williams that back them up, but not terribly concerned about that because Mahomes, it doesn't matter who's out there.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Byron Pringle does this year.
Yeah, you big Pringle fan?
I have no idea who this guy is.
Pop the top, dude.
But he had 13 receptions for 160 yards last year. He's their number 3 receiver. But to be honest, he's actually there. Let's see. Travis Kelce's number 1. Tyreek Hill's number 2. McCole Hardman is 3 in the slot. And Edwards-Helaire can catch the ball really well. Mm-hmm. So he's actually the 5th receiver. But damn, man, this is like looking at those Yankees lineups back in the day. Like, where the fuck do I go find an out?
Yep.
You know what I mean? What the fuck is happening here? And now they've improved the line and the defense. Although, how frequently does it happen that a team comes in and you're like, holy shit, there's nothing fucking happening here. This team's just going to win, and it actually happens. Usually something goes wrong.
I know.
There's got to be some adversity, so who knows?
I think the division's pretty brutal. Like the Raiders kind of suck, but the Chargers and the Broncos, depending on what happens, they're both of those teams could jump up and bite the Chiefs to steal a game.
I think steal one game, to me, if the Chiefs stay healthy, I don't see them losing.
I think that if you're Mahomes, you got to find a way to challenge yourself, right? It's the same thing that Klay Thompson doesn't have to worry about it because he's a fucking robot. But Steph Curry, you could tell, was getting bored.
Yeah.
Like, I can just fucking dribble 3 times, step back, and shoot over this guy, and my effective field goal percentage is higher than somebody dunking the basketball.
And he had fun this year because he knew he wasn't going to win a championship. So he's like, fuck it. How great can I be?
They still had a great run towards the end to make it into the playoffs and stuff.
Yeah.
Mahomes, I just want to see, and it's going to be weird now that there's 17 games, but this is what I've always wanted to see. We saw it with fucking Tom Brady in that year when Randy Moss was there. Play hard, like high-tempo football the whole time for the whole season, and to see what the numbers look like. He's already fucking got 55 touchdowns. I think he could throw for 6,000 yards and 60 touchdowns.
Easily.
If
they let him do it.
Yeah, but
for all 4 quarters, but they don't. They're lazy, but look.
This team is really interesting, too, the Chargers.
Herbert, man, is a good little fucking quarterback. Austin Eckler, everybody sleeps on Austin Eckler. He's going to have a great year. I'm super high on him in fantasy. And look, man, the progression of him is going to be fun to watch. Bosa should be back and healthy on their defense, eating people's faces off.
Derwin James.
They probably put this at 8.5 in Vegas, I'm assuming, right?
9.5.
Close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Surprised by that.
This kid looks legit. This team looks pretty fucking good, and to me, this is a weaker division. So yeah, I'm gonna go under still, but I think this kid keeps going forward, man.
They gave up 18.5 points a game last year.
Yeah.
No, that's the Rams. I'm sorry. The Chargers were low too. Where are they? Fucking the first half of the season, they were really low. That defense is pretty good.
Bosa's pretty good. I have no expectations for this, but I think they're going to keep getting better and better. They're on the right path at least.
Well, the problem is you're in that fucking division.
Oh, no, against the Chiefs.
And I mean, that's 2 losses a year probably. You're not going to beat them.
No.
Fuck.
No.
You got to win all the other games.
Yeah, out of the AFC here to wrap this up, I've got the Chiefs winning. My sleeper team is Tennessee to go to the Super Bowl, and then
that's actually my AFC Championship. I think is
Tennessee versus.
It's either the Bills or Tennessee, probably.
It depends on who plays. When.
I don't know if you see Baltimore make that run. I think Tennessee just is better down the stretch typically.
Yep.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, Baltimore's also in a.
But they're close. I've
Baltimore's
got them
in a much tougher division than Tennessee is.
Top 5 here in this division. I got Buffalo. I've got the Ravens. I think the Steelers could sneak in there. Tennessee, and then
Kansas City.
Kansas City. I don't have the Browns.
I just think Tennessee's usually they have the last 3 years been better down the stretch, and that division. I mean, Houston Texans, who knows? They may not even win a game. The Colts may not even have a quarterback. And Jacksonville is a college coach in his first season in the NFL. That's 6 wins probably, right? I mean, shit. I don't know. We'll see.
Somebody, Sean Achondo, is saying, give me Chargers with 10.5. Good luck.
That's Sean. That's right there.
Is that your last name?
Yeah.
I never knew that. You've never told me once. I've never asked. I know you as Hightower Sean, who's probably going to kill me one day, and that is all I know you as. And I'm fine with that. Achondo? Am I even saying that right? Probably not. How pronounce it for me?
It's close.
What is it? Anchondo? Like Anchondo?
Anchondo.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's what he said. What did you say?
Anchondo.
What did he say?
He said
Achondo.
Achondo.
Oh yeah, there's an AN in there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Sean, that's not even the last name I picked for you. I thought you was like a Guerrero or a Gutierrez for some reason.
Lopez.
Yeah, something like that.
Or Smith.
Yeah, but those are my teams out of there. Unless the Browns trade for a quarterback in the middle of the season. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again.
Let's start sending Sean to try out for quarterback for the Browns every day.
No, Sean's going to be at all the Cowboys games, dude. Watching.
No,
them lose.
if we let him do that, he'll kill himself. We need him because he does good work. I don't want him to kill himself. If we distract him with the Cleveland thing, maybe he'll survive this season.
I actually want to send him to the opener so that way it dashes his entire dreams and he never watches again. I've already put $1,000 down at -6.5, and that spread has already jumped up to 7. Clearly, I'm on to something. Next up in the NFC is the Philadelphia Eagles. Wait and see on the Deshaun Watson thing, but I think if they get him, it'll be a fun team to watch in a very, very weak division, and they would have a shot at the playoffs. As much as that pains my soul, without Deshaun Watson, though, goddamn, that's a horrific team. That's a car crash. I understand you. It's like me and the Falcons. Walk away from it. Drive by it and don't offer to help.
So you don't think Jalen Hurts is ever going to be a good NFL quarterback?
Never. I got so, and here's why I say this. The game that I was at was the LSU Oklahoma game, and I got to sit with all of the NFL execs in that one and their scouts and all that shit. Every one of them said this is going to be an awful quarterback. We would never draft him. The one that I wasn't with though was the Eagles exec. He was not there. But watching him from above at that angle, he just didn't have the reads. I don't believe in this guy whatsoever. This team is going to be garbage, and this division is going to be garbage again.
He's only had one good game as a pro, and it was against Arizona, and that defense was pretty bad.
Yeah.
At that point.
What do they have them at? 5.5 in Vegas?
6.5.
6.5, yeah.
Take
Over 6.5.
Delco, go ahead and fucking bet the farm on the under, and that if they do better than that, at least you'll be hit. This is the John Anik strategy. He is a
Hedge
huge.
my emotions. I can't
Yes.
do that.
If they get Deshaun Watson, though, they easily beat them.
Yeah, John. Well, yeah, that's true. But John Anik is a diehard fucking Boston sports fan.
Yeah.
But especially the fucking Patriots and Red Sox.
On his Instagram the other day, I wrote 7-11 underneath his Patriots post.
He bets against
Or 6-11.
Boston teams every time. He always just a hedge. So I think it's a winning strategy for you, considering how many dogs you take. You need to fucking. This is like a mental health retreat. For
No,
you.
he'll end up betting this. I guarantee it.
Don't bet
when
the
season
goddamn over.
starts. He'll bet this for sure.
If they get
for
Watson,
sure.
I would probably would.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a very interesting team to watch unless Watson goes there. Now,
I don't either.
This team, Washington football team,
I am excited about the Washington football team.
they may not give up a touchdown all year.
I am excited about that. I love their defense. I love Fitzmagic. Antonio Gibson is my sleeper of the year for fantasy for running backs. I'm extremely high on him. Scary Terry's there.
Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel is now there. They've got the pieces. This is going to be a fun team to watch with Fitzmagic, and I'm amped, man. I think they win this division. I think their over under in Vegas is probably 8.5.
Yep.
It is 8.5.
Yep.
God damn it, I'm awesome. I'm going over on that. I think this is a 10-win team. I think 10-7. That's the record to win this division. So I love them. I think this is going to be a fun team to watch. And drafting their defense fantasy-wise for Washington is a strong choice.
Is that going to be the first defense taken in the draft, do you think? I mean, it's the Rams.
Them or Tampa Bay, man. Tampa Bay's got a good defense, too.
Or the Rams. Yeah,
and they're in a
Look who
weak
they
division.
play.
the
Yeah, it's
Rams.
nice.
Yeah.
The Rams, too. But, yeah, but
Both are in weak divisions.
if you had to choose between the Rams and the Buccaneers straight up, I would choose the Buccaneers because they're going to spend less time on the field with Tom Brady as quarterback.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That is a reasonable thing to expect,
Yeah.
I would think. So if you're out there and you're struggling with that solution, and look, Washington, who knows what the fuck that offense is going to look like, to be honest. I mean, it's Fitzmagic. We've got confidence
I believe
in
in him. I love him, man.
Sure, there's confidence in Fitzmagic, but this is a new guy on a new team. He's an older guy, so maybe he picks it up faster, but it still takes some time.
Rivera's a good coach, man, and I like all the pieces. I think Washington wins at 10-7. I'm going to stick with that. New York Giants.
Wait, there is some team drama.
Oh, why would happen?
With Washington? Rivera, if you'll recall, is a cancer survivor.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's pissed because they're like one of, if not the most unvaccinated team. And he's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
I'm like kind of immunocompromised. Will you please get vaccinated? And they're like, no.
No. Yeah, we don't need that. But people hate him in real life, so.
There's some locker room drama there.
Yeah.
Like he's calling people who won't get vaccinated fucking idiots, but those are his own players.
Yeah.
So it's a little testy in the clubhouse.
It is. Look, he's good enough. He'll push these guys there. 10-7, they win the division.
I mean, he was winning games in Carolina. If you can do that, you can win anywhere.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I remember them smashing the Cowboys, too. It's Thanksgiving. Sean, do you remember that? Hightower, Sean?
No comment.
Yeah, it was great. God, I bet the shit out of that as well. I won so much
No
money.
Dak Prescott either.
Man, that was a happy Thanksgiving. I think I fucked the turkey after we were done in front of my family. That's how much money I won on Thanksgiving betting against the Cowboys. Next up is the Giants, man. I think this is a sleeper team in this division for sure. This could be the second place team out of there. Danny Dimes is pretty fucking good. Saquon Barkley is back. Kenny Golladay is going to be.
Yeah.
He's going to be my. I'll probably put him at 7th, and that's going to be my flex play this year in fantasy football.
Look, man, the Giants fucking had a rough year last year. They lost their best player
Yep.
right out of the gate,
Yeah.
pretty much. Still managed to piece it together. The defense was 9th in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good starting point when you've got a guy coming back that's an exciting quarterback and you've got a dude whose thighs are bigger than my fucking waist. It's
Yeah.
creepy. I can't look at it.
Yeah.
It's like Medusa. I feel like I'm going to turn into a bowl of snakes or whatever happened with that bitch. Concrete, maybe?
Concrete. I'm
don't
going to
know.
say 7.5 wins. Vegas says for the over and under, right?
7.
7. God, it is almost fucking shocking. I'm going to take the over on this. I think the Giants easily beat that. I'm with that.
What's the? I mean, that division is
This division's
real bad.
Sucks.
But there's a decent chance. I know we hate on them a lot, but there's a decent chance that the Cowboys are a little bit better than medium team this year. That they win 10 or 11 games. There's a chance.
Absolutely.
If things go well.
If
and that
Dak
means
is healthy.
the Giants are fucked if that happens.
Yeah, yes.
Like
yes, they are.
there's that.
But
that
they
puts you-
always lose that game up in New York. So we were there. Shit, we were at that Jets game last year.
Yeah.
When they fucking
was
lost
rough.
it the year before. That'll bring us to the Dallas Cowboys. They're already 0-2 in preseason. Get ready for a lot of that the rest of the year. Look, I watched the Hard Knocks thing. I don't know why he's so jokey with the fucking players. They need a fucking hardcore general asshole to get these fucking dicks into shape. Ezekiel Elliott, I don't know what happened to that guy. He got the big contract and was like, well, I guess we're good. I'll get another nose ring. I think he's got 3 now, right, Sean? What's the over-under on his nose rings? 3? 2?
What's the over under the length of his fucking crop top shirt?
Well,
Can you wear a fucking whole shirt, please?
no.
God damn it, man.
If you got it, you can go ahead and flaunt it. But Dallas, Vegas fucking loves Dallas, dude. I'm gonna say 9.5. No, I'm gonna say 10. 10 wins for the Cowboys. What do they say?
Should have stuck with your gut.
9.5.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. That might be the best 3 wide receivers on one team I've ever seen.
Amari Cooper's injured. Dak Prescott is
He
injured.
won't always be injured,
No,
right?
no. The defense is not great. It's going to be another pedestrian season. They'll probably it'll come down to the last couple weeks for the Cowboys. They'll disappoint you and let you down again. And Sean, are you going to have them at your funeral to let you down one last time? Have them lower that coffin into the ground?
Of course.
Yeah, you
How
have
do
to.
how do you feel about Keanu Neal going to Dallas, but as a linebacker?
Why? All of it. The whole fucking thing is weird to me.
He's looked really good in preseason.
The best thing I've ever done in my life, by the way, was tell Post Malone that the Cowboys would never win with Dak Prescott, and him looking at me and saying, that's my best friend. Dead serious. And they were like, oh my God, you got to apologize. And I go, never. He's not going to ever win a Super Bowl. Dak Prescott will never win a fucking Super Bowl. He's not that guy. And if I were them, and I said this last year in the draft show, you should have just drafted Justin Fields, paid him the rookie minimum, and then you wasted $50 million a year on this guy who's got broken arms, legs, and all the other fucking bullshit. And he's not that great. He can't throw the fucking ball that great. Cowboys, you're fucked. Your fan base it's over. 27 years, you can go ahead and throw 28 on there. You're not gonna win.
What's the over under this 9.5? I'll take the over in that. I think they win probably 10 or 11 games.
And I'm with you. They could get to 10. They're not going to compete for a Super Bowl or anything.
No, but I feel like they'll win 10 or 11 games for sure.
Maybe. Depends on their health.
Yeah, I mean, what did you say about Prescott's throwing again? But it seemed like there might be something weird with his shoulder.
Is he hurt, Sean, still? What's his fucking story?
Well, I saw him throwing some passes. I think they want to get him in the preseason game, but I don't know why they would put him in. Like, just don't play in the preseason. What's the point?
Yeah, what was the point of Delco Dan wearing an Eagles jersey today? Man, that hurts, dude.
T-shirt. I knew we were doing the pod.
Yeah, no, I know, I understand that, but they're going to be so awful this year with Jalen Hurts.
That doesn't mean you stop supporting your
It
team.
does. I stopped supporting my team. I will only go back for a Super Bowl or a World Series. Otherwise, Atlanta is their choke artist. They don't deserve my money anymore.
Oh, you were all up in Trae Young's fucking asshole like 2 months ago.
Yeah, they were lighting it up.
But,
yeah.
And then what did he do?
He lost to the NBA champion.
No. He didn't play. He sat out. Giannis didn't play, and he decided to sit out Game 5 like a fucking pussy over a baby tiny ankle sprain. Like, no, dude, there's no heart. There's no fucking heart in Atlanta, dude. Go there right now. Everybody's just walking around like mindless zombies. There's no fucking hearts in Atlanta.
Braves got heart.
The Braves do, yeah.
Braves playing hanging tough.
When's
Right?
the last
just
time they
don't-
won? 95.
Yeah, they don't have a
95.
the same year that the Cowboys was the last one, right? No, that was.
Oh, yeah. Sean, if you're looking for a sweet comparison, Cowboys versus Braves, have fun.
The Braves still don't have the back end of that bullpen. There's no, unless somebody comes out of the minors. I don't
Oh, they're
know.
not winning the World Series.
No, it's going to be
can't
the.
talk about the Braves right now.
We're not going
So
to.
many
We can
things
do whatever we want.
We're not.
Rich.
Yeah. Delco Dan's got a dinner date, and he's like, I want to get the
does
fuck
he?
out of here.
don't, but-
Either way, it's fine. We'll move on to the Bears, NFC North. Look, Justin Fields has looked very, very, very fucking good and exciting. If you're a Bears fan, you got to be amped about that. I don't even know. I was going to say week 3. I don't even know.
Week 1.
Yeah.
I
Throw them in. Let's
they
go.
Absolutely. Here's the deal with. Here's the deal. Here's the deal with fucking Chicago. They have never in the history of that franchise had a great quarterback. Not
No.
once for one game.
No.
Right?
No.
The oldest franchise that exists. It's them, the Lions, the fucking Packers. Who else was around back then? But like the winners of Super Bowls 2, 3, and 4, I think, or 2 and 3.
Weirdly, the Cardinals.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah. So the winners of, I think the Packers won the first one, and then Chicago won the next 2 or so. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Never in their history have they had a great quarterback, and it looks like he might be a light version of Patrick Mahomes. And maybe he becomes that style of quarterback, right?
Who knows?
I mean, he plays the same style. You see this guy running full speed to his left and throw like a
90 yards.
shortstop
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy.
on a rope, fucking 20 yards to a guy that's moving back in after a broken play. That's pretty. There's a lot of talent there, and
But I'm
Man.
curious now that he's had, like, he looks the way he looks. Did they put them at 9 for the over-under for the Bears?
No.
What did they put
7.5.
Yep.
7.5.
Is it really 7.5?
Yep.
That's comical.
I'm going over. I'm going to take the Bears over, and I like that. 8 is great. I'm going to go. That's going to be an 8-9 team if Fields stays healthy, and they've got a great defense.
The roster makeup is a very Tampa Bay Rays kind of roster makeup where Allen Robinson II is good. Yeah, everybody knows that. Marquise got a good one. People don't pay attention to that guy, but he's going to put up fucking 700 or 800 yards.
Fuck
right?
yeah, dude.
They've got a really under the radar fucking good team, and if Tariq Cohen comes back and contributes anything ever again, with Montgomery up front, if Fields is even good, they're going to win fucking 8 games.
Hammer
right?
the over, dude, on this one. You're good. Next up, we got the Detroit Lions. They got a new quarterback. They got Jared Goff there. That is not going to make a difference.
No.
I do not care about this team whatsoever. I'm saying Vegas probably put them at 6.5 wins, I would guess.
No.
What?
5.
5. That's who cares?
I've been saying
Lions
for
are Lions.
I've been saying for a long time that I don't think Jared Goff is a good NFL quarterback.
Me neither.
Certainly, I didn't think he was going to take the Rams anywhere.
No, and he's not going to be any better with the fucking Lions,
this
a worst team.
This is just a place for him to go die. He's been put out to pasture.
Yeah.
Like you don't go to fucking Detroit expecting to win games. Right?
No.
Not that he chose to go there, but Swift from Georgia it looks like he's going to be one of those guys that plays 10 games a year.
And
because of
gets
injuries
hurt.
and shit like
Yeah.
that. So you just can't. That's nothing. Let's move on from the Lions because nobody cares. The Packers. This team is interesting.
This is the most interesting team this year because I don't know. Like if you're Rodgers, and you have any form of injury, do you just sit out for 4 games and then wait for next year and try to go to your team? Or do you win out of spite and say, fuck you guys, and then I'm going to win you a Super Bowl and then leave immediately because I hate you?
I mean, how fucking... That would be the biggest fuck you in the history of sports. Forget about the Last Dance and Jordan winning that bullshit because, look, you had Jordan Pippen and Rodman on that team. Come on, you were going to win no matter what the circumstances were. If he comes out, even if they don't win a Super Bowl, he comes out and wins MVP again and then just like, hey, trade me now. As soon as the fucking window's open, he's like, hey, I'm not playing here one more fucking play, so get me out of here. And then he goes somewhere, I don't know, like Cleveland, for example.
Oh, man. Could you imagine him in Cleveland?
And wins, he takes like a fucking minimum contract or some stupid shit like that. Or he re-signs with Cleveland for 3 years to finish out his career, but takes his average salary down so they can fucking make it work. And he just goes back. Playing on that team with those receivers, he just wins a championship or two, God, that would be the biggest fuck you in the history of sports. That's what Brett Favre wanted, by the way.
He was one
Yeah.
pass away, Brett Favre.
Yeah.
I think Vegas has probably got them at what, 10.5?
Right now, they are off the board.
Are they really? Why is that? That's weird. You know the team. Everybody
They
knows the
just
team.
Don't really know what's happening with Rodgers.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You got Rodgers. You got Tanyan. You've got, they brought Randall Cobb back. Randall Cobb is good with Rodgers, nowhere else. You've obviously got Devontae Adams. You got Aaron Jones in the backfield. They got a decent defense. It should be 10.5, 11 games for these guys, but you don't know. I get it, but it'd be a nice fuck you. Next up, Minnesota Vikings here in this division. Look, Vikings are the Vikings. That's probably 9 in Vegas, I would imagine, Delco.
8.5 or 9, yeah. That's what I would guess.
Look, they get the same guys back. Kirk Cousins is there.
It's 9, yeah.
Yeah, 9.
Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, that's as good when they're both healthy. Jefferson's having
Dalvin
some
Cook.
minor issues now, but yeah, Jefferson, Thielen is as good as any 1-2 combination receiver-wise in the NFL, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they are very, very good.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook's really good. Kirk Cousins is not.
No.
Kirk Cousins is a guy that's good in pickup games. And you're like, man, you should come try out for the team, bro.
Yeah.
Then he comes and tries out for the team, and he sucks.
Yeah. He'd be a great backup somewhere. Or, look, I think, if he was the quarterback of the Browns, they might be able to do all right. So
Last 2 minutes of the
Drink.
half. Here are his split numbers. Last 2 minutes of the half, 56% completion percentage.
Yeah.
Sorry. Although fourth quarter with the game within 7 points, he's got a 107 total rating. Last year. He did better last year than he has in previous years. He kind of had that monkey on his back, for lack of a better phrase, of being a non-crunch time guy. But it's not entirely true. And even in 2019, he was a 98.8 rating in crunch time. Mm-hmm. But it does seem like he comes super close and fails every single time.
Yeah. No.
Right? Maybe that's because of that division's tough to play in. Maybe it's just bad luck. I mean, the same thing happened to Philly all those years, where they lose 4 in a row in the NFC Championship. Is that right?
3 in a row.
3 in a row.
yeah.
But 4 total, right, under that regime.
And they went to 1 Super Bowl, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And they lost that.
But we
yeah.
lost 4 NFC Championship games. It was a few years later, but we lost to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember that.
He just feels like that guy. He doesn't feel like the guy that's going to do it.
No. And then the NFC South, by the way, is the division that I care, I think, the least about besides the AFC East. And I'll tell you why. You got Carolina Panthers. That's your quarterback now. I don't care.
I know it's hard to find a good quarterback in the NFL, but when you've got Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, and DJ Moore on your team, go find a fucking quarterback that can play in this league. Why didn't they fucking draft one of the top guys?
I don't know.
I mean, Jesus fucking Christ,
They
man.
traded for Darnell.
It's really, you have to be fucking super irritated right now if you're a Carolina Panthers fan. When you have the football version of Mike Trout, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Like this crazy dynamic player that is so good at putting points on the board. And you bring in a dude that can hand it off to him, but that's about it. I mean, what's the point of having a great two-way running back like that can also catch passes when you don't have a fucking good quarterback?
And they
you
lost
neutralize half of his fucking game.
Curtis Samuel on this
Yeah,
team.
man.
I'll say Vegas probably put this at 7.
6.5. 7.5.
8? You said 8.5?
7.5.
Oh, 7.5. Fuck
That's
that.
right.
They're not going to win that. Well, they're
No.
playing a weak-ass division, but still.
New Orleans Saints. I've never believed in a team less than them. Both quarterbacks look like dog shit. The LASIK surgery for Winston did nothing. Don't care about this team. Michael Thomas, I would not draft him until the 5th or 6th round if he's around in fantasy.
Yeah.
I don't know if this guy comes back and plays, what he's going to be like, or if they end up trading him.
I mean, if
or
you were to-
try to trade him.
Does this seem like acting out or just stupidity?
It's both.
Right?
I don't think he wants to be there.
But why sacrifice an entire year of your career?
Because he's young enough where, he can play
28.
for,
I mean, he's going to play 6-7 more seasons probably.
Yeah, he's young enough, so I think he can cry his way out of there. And if he goes somewhere that needs a receiver, fuck man, if he went to the Packers or somebody, that would
Anywhere.
be, I mean, it'd be great. But I don't believe in either Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston. I don't know who starts. I don't care who starts.
What does a Taysom Hill 17-game season even look like? Like how many? What's the distribution of his runs and passes and the other run plays that
I would say a
depending on
5-win season if he plays all 17 games, but
Maybe.
I don't even think it's him.
Yeah.
And he got a shit ton of money. I'll bet you Vegas said 6.5 on the Saints.
Not close.
What?
9.
Oh my God.
What?
I feel like I just lost my sight. Are you
good
fucking
team.
kidding me?
It's a good team.
My God.
Well, it's a good team without a quarterback.
Without
right?
a quarterback. Alvin Kamara is great. Michael Thomas is great. They have no one else besides those two people on that team.
They have good defense.
They have a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
And look, you play the Falcons twice, I guess. Congratulations, and Carolina twice. But there's not one fucking prayer. I'm hammering the under on this one, and everybody can fuck off. I think nothing of this team. I don't think they make the playoffs. I don't think
Tampa
they do
Bay
anything.
Tampa Bay, which I think probably didn't have as good of a team as the Saints are. Their defense was maybe a little bit better, but the offense on the Saints is way better. With Jameis Winston 7-9,
Mm-hmm.
right? Maybe they pick up one more win. Maybe they get 8, but fuck, man, that's a big risk to take because this dude hasn't been a winner in any time in his fucking NFL career, really.
Somebody's in Vegas, and they said it's they've got a 10 on one of the boards for the Packers. They're over/under. It's a risk with Rodgers, but I would take that for sure.
I think Rodgers
in that weak-ass division
wants to fucking dunk on these assholes.
Yeah, I do too.
That's what I think, but we'll see.
I'd throw a little bit on that. Next up, we got Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look, Brady's in the second year of that system. Every single person came back. They've only gotten better. I've got them at, I bet you Vegas put them at 12.5, right?
11.5.
Yeah. I've got the over in that. I will definitely take the over at 11.5. They easily get to 12 wins. And I have them as a rematch in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs, with the Chiefs beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to become Super Bowl champions. But this team is going all the way up. This is a weak division.
This
here.
division's super weak. And also, what is if Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown are all healthy all season, what the fuck does that look like?
I don't
right?
know.
I mean, Tom
And
Brady.
Gronkowski.
That maybe we see Tom Brady throwing the ball a lot more. I mean, between Fournette and Ronald Jones, you've got probably 1,500 yards on the ground there. You're good.
Somewhere
running
there,
back wise, right?
Yeah. It's a scary team, and their defense is fucking nasty, dude.
They may have I think they probably have the best defense in the league, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the Rams, but just like I said before, when you add in the fact that Tom Brady is both a scorer and a game manager at the same time somehow, they're not going to spend as much time on the field as everybody else. So maybe their rate numbers, like, oh, you actually give up 20 points a game. Yeah, because we stopped playing in the fourth quarter because we were up, bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think Tampa Bay might have the most talented defense in the league. And that's saying something because there's some good defenses.
Yeah. Look, it'll be fun for fantasy this year because there's a bunch of good defenses. But, I got Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, and that'll be a fun rematch. Falcons, we covered, no need. Move on from that team the same way you move on from the Cowboys and the
same
Browns.
way that the Arizona Cardinals should move on from their tiny, tiny quarterback.
Yeah. Look, Murray, though, fantasy-wise, if you're out there, boy, number one in fantasy. So I don't blame you for taking Murray. J.J. Watt is there, I guess, for spiritual advice and just for being there. Hopkins is already in the bullshit over the vaccinations and everything else with
AJ
them.
Green is 33 years old.
And it looks older.
Yeah.
But Vegas probably has them at 10.5, I would imagine, right?
8.5.
Really? All right. I would take that. They're in a hard division, but
I wouldn't. I don't know. I think this might be. I mean, Kyler Murray's numbers all went up last year.
I know.
Like he improved significantly last year, especially in his completion percentage, 3%. He's 67% now. He's getting up towards like 70% is a good 72% is a good Pro Bowl year, right? But he's 5'9". Man, I mean, I just don't know. And I guess it all depends on Hopkins, really.
yeah.
If you've got the best receiver in the league and he doesn't play for you, you're going to be worse than you would have been otherwise. Is he going to play or not? I don't know.
He'll play. Look, it's just about the vaccination thing. He'll play. I think the Cardinals are, it's a decent team. They're very, very hard to fucking bet on, man.
Could have had Nick Bosa.
Yeah. They're a hard team to bet on. I lay off the Cardinals every year. It wouldn't surprise me if they win 12 games. Also wouldn't surprise me if they won 6. It's a tough one to judge because of Kyler Murray. It's the same boat with Baker Mayfield, to be honest with you.
Look, they're top third in defense in the league.
Yeah.
Adding J.J. Watt's not going to hurt. I mean,
It's not gonna hurt.
He's probably.
I just don't believe in Kyler Murray.
They have him as.
And this is a tough fucking division.
It is, yeah. Chase Edmonds is serviceable.
But not great.
James Conner, we don't know.
We don't know what's going to happen with him. Next up in this division, we got the San Francisco 49ers. I want to see them give the keys to Trey Lance.
Yeah, why are
see
they
what
even?
happens.
Why pretend? If you want Garoppolo to like start so you can mentor Trey Lance on the sidelines, that's fine. Just say that. But don't fucking try to tell me that Garoppolo is going to be a good quarterback in this league, man. It's just not fucking true.
No. What do they got them at? 8.5 in Vegas?
10.
Yeesh.
I think they could win 10 with Trey Lance. To be
Maybe.
honest.
Yeah, it depends on who their quarterback is.
We'll see.
Trey Lance
he only
looks
played
fun,
like
though.
fucking 13 games above high school so far.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I mean, I've watched him play against NFL guys, and look, it's preseason. Who gives a shit? But the big play potential, that's not a joke. He's there.
Yeah.
Right. He can fucking make
Yeah.
big plays a lot. It's just a matter of discipline at this point. I don't know who, like these guys he's throwing to, though, they're like number 2 receivers, all of them except for Kittle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
On any other team, Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk or Sanu Senior, Sanu is not going to be a fucking. They're not going to be wide receiver number ones on any team in the NFL.
No.
So,
I don't even care about
but
this
that
team.
defense is fucking legit.
It is, dude. And I look, if Trey Lance plays, I'll watch. If Garoppolo plays, I don't watch. It's as simple as that. Seattle Seahawks. Talked about Russell Wilson earlier. Now that Grover's with it, I think he has a fucking great year. I think the Seahawks go to the playoffs. I think they have a shot to possibly compete against Tampa Bay for the
NFC Championship.
yeah. And DK Metcalf is great. We'll see how if Carson's health stays up.
Yeah.
But I think Seattle will have the same Seattle year. They'll lose every spread, but win the games.
Yeah.
And what do they probably have them at 11 wins in Vegas?
9.5.
Yeah, that's about right. So 10-7, somewhere in there. 11-6. I'll be fine betting the over on that. But same team as always for Seattle.
Russ is a good dark horse for MVP too, and any year, by the way.
Yeah.
He's a good dark horse. Not that he's dark or anything, but
Obviously.
only the horse.
But yeah, I don't. The Seattle team, I don't really care about that much. It's not a sexy team for me. So we'll see what happens. But they'll compete. They'll go to the playoffs, same as every year, and then they'll shit the bed somewhere along the way. Yeah. Last but not least is the Rams. Now I'm going to give you some shine here, Delco Dan. I would have had the Rams as a sleeper had Cam Akers not gone out with an ACL. He was fucking great last year. And I think it's going to be that Henderson Jr. guy that takes over for him. They might try to sign a Todd Gurley, maybe.
Bring back C.J. Anderson.
C.J. Anderson's 90 years old.
Doesn't matter.
A running back doesn't
Running
matter.
back doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't – look, I thought Cam Akers was really fucking good and had a chance to be a star. I would have been with you on that. I can't anymore. However, Stafford with those receivers and everything else in that defense, I have them going to the playoffs. I think they will win. I bet you Vegas probably put them at 10.5, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's your Super Bowl champ right there.
Look.
Dude, they made the playoffs with just that defense last year.
Yes. Yeah. And I love Stafford. I think he's fucking awesome. They just need a good running back, and it's just too late. I don't know that Henderson is that fucking dude. But I have them going to the playoffs. I have them.
Matt Stafford.
10.5 is right on the line. It could be 10-7 or it could be 11-6.
Matt Stafford is 20-1 for MVP.
Oh man, look, that's a great one. If you want to sprinkle something on that, go ahead on that because he could have a great year with a good defense and a good team. I love Stafford, man. It just sucks about Cam Akers. What do you think about this team? The Rams.
I think the Rams are. The running back thing is a problem. If you're that great of a defense, one of the things that makes you great is the ability to get your defense rest, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't matter how good your defense is. If they're out there playing 80-plus snaps in a game instead of the normal 65 or so,
Yep.
You're fucked, man. I mean, it doesn't matter how much conditioning you do. Everybody is in great shape all the time. So eventually there becomes a decline in return. And if Stafford isn't a guy who can. The good thing about this situation is that he is a guy that can he can use the check down passing game as a running game because he's had to in Detroit quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
So he can do that. And with these receivers, he could probably accomplish it. But without having that fucking workhorse running back, it's hard to fucking rely on a defense like that. They say defense wins championships. That's true. But you still got to keep that defense off the field enough so they're not fucked up, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why I give Tampa Bay the edge on all these defensive matchups. Stafford he's very good. Do we know how healthy he is? I mean, he broke his fucking back.
No, he's fine. He's fine. He's going to play.
People say that every year. He's fine. Oh, it's Matt Stafford. He'll be fine.
He always is for some reason, man. Look, you play in Detroit that long, get the shit kicked out of you, and still put up decent numbers.
Yeah.
I love it. I just wish they had a running back. That's it.
I like Henderson. He was a beast at Memphis, and Memphis produces good running backs.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Look. If they would have had Akers, yes, that would have been a sleeper out of the NFC. Right now, I think it's probably the Packers again, based on Aaron Rodgers' hatred, and I love hatred, and I'm going to ride with that. Who is your Super Bowl teams that are playing each other, and who do you think is going to win, Dan?
I think that it's probably going to be Kansas City from the AFC. I would be surprised if it's anybody else. I would be very, very if they're healthy, if there are injuries, who the fuck knows? But if Kansas City's healthy all year, I honestly don't believe there's a team anywhere that can beat them, including in the NFC. So probably them. The NFC though is a whole different ballgame. I mean, if I had to pick, I would say either Tampa Bay or Green Bay. Probably those are the two picks I would make. And I don't think either one of those teams could beat the Chiefs at full strength. However, a Kansas City Green Bay Super Bowl would be dope as fuck. It's like two of the best fan bases in all of football. They both travel well, so that Super Bowl would be fucking crazy.
Yep.
It's one of the best quarterbacks we've ever seen in Aaron Rodgers, and a guy who's missed so many opportunities because of his franchise, not because of him.
Right.
They've missed so many opportunities, and now he's got one last chance. And it's such a complicated narrative. Like, he could win and solidify his legacy as maybe the second best quarterback of all time,
Yeah.
right? Or he could get his fucking ass handed to him or whatever it is. I just think it's a really good story, but I don't think Green Bay's got the defense to back that shit up.
No.
To be honest, like if you match up Mahomes versus Rodgers, depends on the type of game you play, who's going to win there. But the fucking Rodgers, despite what they do have, don't have Travis Kelce, right? They don't have Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman, Edwards-Helaire. They don't have all of that.
Yeah.
So who the fuck knows, man? I think what I want to see is him beat Tom Brady. Right?
Yes.
Not because I dislike Tom Brady.
It's a great storyline.
I just think it's a good story of him. It's like a passing the torch kind of situation. But if it were Green Bay and Kansas City, I would love that game. I still think Kansas City is going to win no matter what, though.
Yeah, I've got Kansas City beating the Bucs, and I think it's a close game. I'll go ahead and tell you the score.
24.
I've got a 34-27 in that game, and no, I'm sorry, 35-28 is what I have for the Super Bowl. I think it's a great game. I think it's a close game, and I told you it wasn't going to be sexy at the beginning of the show, and I meant it. Somebody in here, it's Reed White. He said, if every team is 9.5, then it's just a mediocre league. That is the greatest comment of all time. You were 100% correct, Reed. It is a mediocre league. I don't think there is that many great teams. It is great for gambling and great for us. That's why I want to see some of these young guys like a Justin Fields or a Trey Lance or a fucking the Mormon kid for
Zach
Wilson. I want to see new superstars emerge so it won't be mediocre anymore. But you're right, and that's a great comment. And that's why these picks are boring, is because we're looking at the same teams, and you're looking at the same teams in college. Tomorrow is going to be the college football preview show. We have a very, very special guest for that. I can promise you this, you will not want to miss it. That is going to go live off of all of the
Are we not going to
feeds
say
tomorrow.
who the guest is?
No. So I never do, just in case they back out at the last second.
Yeah.
Then we look like dicks.
Or get kidnapped, and then I have to go like
And then raped and-
Liam Neeson, the whole situation.
Yeah, so look, there's always a threat of rape around here, and I don't want to say it, so we're not going to say it until tomorrow. However, go to Drinkin' Bros Sports, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a review. Screenshot it and then post it in Drinkin' Bros Sports. The fantasy football chain is up. Just post it in the comments. I will be selecting all of those teams at random starting on Friday at noon. Check your inboxes. I will be writing you and saying, hey, accept. Do it. You have about 5 minutes, and then I move on to the next email address. So look for that. And then the draft itself will be all day on September 1st. It is a Wednesday. It'll be starting at 5 o'clock Eastern and going all night. Dan's league is up first in that one, and we got a ton of great prizes. We appreciate you joining us today. Cowboys fans, going to be another Cowboys year. Same with you, Falcons, and looking at you, Browns
Putting
as well.
Sean on suicide watch.
Yep.
As soon as the actual official season starts, Sean goes on suicide
I'm
watch.
just glad we learned his last name.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Why I've known it the whole time. I'm gonna need your shoelaces and your belt.
Yep.
Every time you come into work, just don't kill yourself here.
Yeah, and then obviously when you take the belt off, find something else to hold up the jean shorts for the Cowboys fans. I mean, and leave your pack of Cools on the desk or something. Give them to somebody else. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This has been the 2021 NFL Prediction Show. Good.